So, I think it's time we did another tier list video. It's been quite a while since I did one of these. It's about 3 years, I want to say. There's been a lot of guns added and a whole lot of rage since the last 3 years. Picking some of these loadout weapons for you guys drives me nuts. So, I'm kind of curious on what my opinion has changed with some of these weapons from the last time I did one of these tier lists. So, at the end of the video, I'll be actually comparing my present day tier list to my old 3 year ago tier list and see like what is actually changed over the years. So I'm kind of curious about that. I think that'll be really fun for you guys to change things up. We also got the Insurgency Sandstorm t-shirt merch. This is actually bought from the devs, not my own merch, but I do have my own merch with the exact same logo on the back and my logo on the front. I'm only wearing this because you guys can actually see the Insurgency Sandstorm logo. So yeah, just kind of repping, plugging, you know. Hoodie's pretty sweet. I ain't gonna lie, that's my favorite one. All right, enough of the plug-in. We're gonna get into this video already. Oh, and I almost forgot this bad boy. So I just moved, actually. This is my new office, practically, and this right here is my backpack I got from a dev, and these patches are all like custom. So you got each patch if you worked on the particular game within working at NWI. After he was done working with the company, he was very nice to send me this. So I just kind of want to show this off. I'm planning on like putting it up somewhere and all my other MGE Gibs stuff on like a bookshelf behind me or something like that. I don't think I'll ever be on camera that much, but yeah, it's been that's like your little life update for you guys. Is that that's why I have like really bland room right now in the back, so just go with it. To actually get into the tier list video, let's do this. Okay, with our first selection on our weapon tier list, we definitely got to use the new toys, L96 and TAC 338. Now the TAC 338 sounds beautiful. Oh my god, it has one of the sexiest gun sounds in the game. But it only has a 5-round mag, doesn't have an extended mag option. It's very limiting, though it is very cheap. And then its counterpart, the L96, blessed, man. The fact that you can rock a bolt action in this game with a 10-round magazine is just beautiful. I love it. It makes me feel like I'm in Black Ops 1 again, like feeding like I'm FaZe Clan or something like that. Absolutely in love with the guns that they added. I wish there was an extended mag option for the TAC 338, maybe like a 7-round mag. I'm kind of sad that it's just kind of like a plain 5. But nonetheless, I love the additions. I truly do like the weapons they brought in with this update. Then you have the Whale Rod. I'm keeping the peace here, okay? Because I know you guys are going to come after me with pitchforks if I put the Whale Rod anything other than S tier. Because if you look at my top comments, you guys were gunning for me in my last weapon tier list video. And yeah, I can't afford to have that much hate on me again. So yeah, that is my final decision. Don't question me about it. We got the 2 shotguns, Taz and Remington. Now, these are very cheap options, and they're very good because, you know, the 8-round tubes, I don't even know what to call it, tubing, yeah. Better than saying magazine or clip, I guess. Those bad boys are definitely B tier. One of my favorite, like, go-to strats is actually not to rock a carrier and to lose the weight off of, you know, the breacher class and just rock like maybe heavy armor with the shotgun, because you really don't need that much ammo when it comes to the shotgun. And when you do no carrier, I think you spawn with like maybe 18 shells, but you can pick up an additional 8 off the ammo crate right off a spawn, so you can have up to like 25 without no carrier. So that's definitely a go-to strat if you didn't know about that. Then we have the Vector. Vector will probably be a B tier. I like the Vector. Firing rate is amazing. It's awesome. Of course, it's a little pricey, but thankfully with the Vector, you don't need a grip. The recoil control is so good on this thing that you could just get away with an extended mag and you know, a front dot sight. You definitely have to probably rock a heavy carrier, so that's a lot of points because you run out of ammo quickly. And if you want to rock a suppressor, you're losing your heavy carrier, and then you only have 5 mags, and that's realistically like kind of like just 5 kills with the Vector, even with the extended mag option. Then you have the Uzi, D tier. I know this is gonna upset a lot of people, but quite frank, it looks cool. Aesthetic wise, we all love it. Performance-wise, it's pretty shitty. I used to like it when it had the drum magazine option attachment for PvP purposes back in the day. No longer has that. I don't know when they removed that, but those were the glory days for the Uzis, definitely. Then we have the VHS. Yeah, I'd say A tier. It's fast firing rate, truth be told. Controllable recoil, pretty pricey. That's probably why it's not an S tier, is because of the price. You can't really rock full attachments on this thing and expect to go far in terms of points. Yeah, A tier. It's very limiting, and it's not that strong. It doesn't have a lot of stopping power. Then we have our Tavor. I would probably either put this in S tier or A tier. This is a hard one. I think I'm going to put it on A tier. Just because the recoil can kind of be fidgety with it. It definitely packs a lot of punch. I love the stopping power on this thing. It's pretty pricey to have the right attachments to control that recoil with. So that's why I'm keeping it A tier. We have the Tariq pistol. This thing is probably D tier. I'd probably put it D tier. Part of me wants to put it on F tier, but it's 1 point. So for having a cheap, reliable security pistol, it's not that bad. I find myself using it more often than you think. SVD, S tier. Definitely S tier. This thing smacks. One shots everybody. Extended mag. Iron sights are beautiful on this thing if you don't even want to rock, you know, a scope on it. I love rocking iron sight SVD. It's like one of my favorite loadouts. Sterling, F tier. This thing is a piece of poop. My Ungenuinely Warfare, I'm plugging my video right now. I worked very hard on that video because, oh my god, the amount of rage I had using this Sterling with iron sights, because iron sights are garbage on that gun. It was so painful. That video definitely deserves way more views for how much pain I went through, and plus I really like the edit, and if you like the movie, then I think you'd like the intro edit I kind of did with some music to it. SKS video, or SKS, this one's a hard one, man. Man, oh man, do I put it D tier or do I put C tier? We're going to put this in undeciding. I'm leaning C tier, but man, I just never use it anymore. We'll put it on undeciding right now. We'll come back to that one. SIG, D tier. One of the worst assault rifles, definitely. But it's definitely cheap, and it's not like performance-wise the worst assault rifle. It just doesn't hold its own compared to all the other assault rifles in the game. Besides this bad boy, I will fish out this bad boy right now. This right here, I think, is the Type 98 or maybe the Type 99. It's one of the Type assault rifles, Chinese version. It's horrible. That thing is freaking terrible. I think we can all agree as a collective that this is by far the worst assault rifle in the game. Nobody picks it. Its other counterpart, the other QBZ rifle, probably B tier. Yeah, probably definitely B tier. Part of me wants to put it on A tier. I like the unique 3-time sight, but we're just going to leave it as B tier. It's solid. Gets the job done. A little bit of recoil, but it's cool. RPK, S tier. Man. It's like an AKM with a drum magazine. That's literally what it is. It has great recoil controllability, has the stopping power of a AKM. Like I said, it's literally an AKM. QTS, B tier. Solid B tier. I think I used to think more highly of it, and then I came to the sudden realization. I wouldn't say sudden realization. I've always thought about this. Look at Play Good, okay? And this gun is way too bulky to just have a good aesthetic with it. So I'm not really a big fan of the rifle, but it performs very well. Looks aside, it performs very well. And I will admit, if you're rocking a grenade launcher with the QTS, like, you look like you're rocking like a futuristic bolt action rifle with like you're literally sniping people with a grenade launcher tube. It's sick. Also the 4-to-1 times custom sight on that thing is pretty freaking sweet. I wouldn't use any other sight other than that one when using the QTS. PKM S tier. This thing one shots. It's cheap. I know it has a lot of recoil, but the fact that it's so cheap and it one shots and you don't even have to buy an extended mag makes it S tier. This is by far most bang for your buck LMG in the game you could get. Glock. S tier. Man, the streaks I've gone pistol only with this thing, and it's because the extended mag to go from like 16 to the 30 something bullets is only 1 point, which is insane. It's bang for your buck. The extended mag makes it like a primary. I can tap this thing away. It's so much fun. Makes me feel like John Wick. A part of me can say it might be A tier worthy instead of S tier, but I don't know. It really is my favorite sidearm in the game. So I think I'm going to go S tier on this one. The extended mag's just way too good. P90. A tier, B tier. Oh, man. That one's hard. That one's hard. We're going to go back to that one. We got, what is this? The L11? L11? I think it's a SIG in real life, I believe. B tier, maybe. A tier. A tier. I'd say it's A tier. It's up there. It's good. It's solid. Suppressor on it looks sick. Man, I kind of want to put it on B tier, but we're gonna leave it on A tier for now. We might come back to that one. Maybe I should put it on undeciding. God, these are some hard choices already. My God, and it's making me think. Revolver, A tier. This thing's so much fun. The sniper rifle barrel with the scope makes this thing a primary, a pocket primary. Definitely a pocket primary. Now, it's pretty expensive to rock as a pocket primary. That's why it's probably not an S tier, but man, is it really fun to have like a 6-shooter and feel like a little Western. MP7. This thing is garbage now. D tier. I'm curious to what I used to think about this thing because, get this, I think the extended mag's like 4 points. 4 freaking points for just going from 20 rounds to 40 rounds. Oof, that is horrible because this gun used to be really good back in the day. Like when the game first came out, MP7 was like dominating. It literally got nerfed to the ground, and the extended mag at 4 points just doesn't make it worth it. If the extended mag was 2 points, then yeah, you can actually customize this and make it good, and actually have like the aesthetic and points to make it good. But it's just way too expensive because you have to have the extended mag. It's not good without it, and that's why it's D tier. It's because that attachment's way too much. So NWBI, if you're looking at it, I honestly think you guys should take a second look at that. MP5, B tier. Think solid. Gets the job done. I like it. Speaking of which, the other MP5. Where is it? There it is. Probably B tier again, too. They're both solid SMGs. I love them both. I like the 3-burst option on the Security MP5 a lot. Just because it's very underrated. That thing puts people down if you have the accuracy for it. So yeah, I think we're gonna leave that at that for right now. A lot of B tier so far. A lot of B tier. Not enough C tier. It's making me question my judgment right now. But we're only halfway through the list. I guess we'll see what happens. Hosen. Oof. This one's hard. C tier or D tier? I'll go C tier. Yeah, I'll go C tier. This thing's cheap, super reliable. You can put a stripper mag in it if you wanted to with the right attachments. So it's not like individual reloading bullets like the M24. And it's a Mosin, for Christ's sakes. Being a Mosin boy in freaking any game makes you a straight up Chad, especially if you're rocking iron sights. And that's what that thing's good for. Has really just beautiful iron sights in this game. Love rocking it. Speaking about the M24, we're going to bully this gun into the F tier. It used to be somewhere around D tier, maybe. No, it's probably always F tier. It's the fact that the TAG 338 just practically replaced this gun within just one update. Individually reloading on the M24 sucks. It really does suck a lot. And there's no stripper mag version for it compared to the Mosin. So yeah, I don't think it's worth it at all to even use it anymore. That doesn't mean it doesn't have a place in Insurgency, because aesthetic wise it still looks cool and it's still fun. It's still a one shot. But now that the TAC 338's in the game, there's literally no point. You shouldn't ever be using that thing besides looks. Mark 18 A tier. Thing's a beast, dude. Kind of part of me wants to put it on S tier because it has 0 recoil. If you ever struggle with recoil in this game, rock the M Mark 18. Recoil grip and a compensator, you're getting like 0 recoil. Even without those attachments, you can rock a suppressor and no recoil grip. It's still easily controllable. I do it all the time. I love that thing. The only reason why it's probably not S tier is because it's not the cheapest option, and also it barely has any stopping power, which isn't one of my favorites. So you definitely have to hit your shots a couple times to be able to put someone down. I also like to add it has really beautiful iron sights. I definitely like that part of the gun. Scar, S tier, easy. It's so cheap. Extended mag, you can fully deck this thing out with attachments and still have some extra supply points. Puts people down, one-shot capabilities. There's no arguing it. The stopping power on this thing, the cheapness, it's just way too good. That's probably a good reason to have the Tavor as A tier, because the A tier Tavor is more expensive, and they practically do the same thing, but this one's just so much more cheaper because they both have pretty ridiculous recoil, but you can actually afford the attachments on the Scar H. So yeah, S tier definitely. EBR, S tier. This thing can go full auto, and I'm gonna do this now. SAS, thing is sassy. A tier, not S tier. So the reason why is because the SAS, I believe, if I'm making this correct, I think the EBR is 5 points and the SAS is 4 points. But the extended mag attachment is 2 points on the SAS. So you get 20 round magazine for 5 points. Or if you want to do a 20 round SAS, that's 6 points. So cost effectively, this does the exact same thing as the SAS, but it's 1 point cheaper. EBR all the way. Also, EBR is full auto. So in very CQB incidences, you can drop your entire magazine on some guy. Yeah, definitely really fun. MG3, or the MGE gun. MG3, I don't know, some weird dad joke I'm trying to come up with. I don't think it's gonna stick. Yeah, S tier. There's no arguing it. This thing shreds. Stopping power is amazing. One shot capabilities, but you don't even get the opportunity for a one shot because the freaking burst rate and the firing rate on this thing is so insane. Iron sights are beautiful. The only downside is you have to put an extended mag, but even then it's so cheap that it works anyways. And it's the buzzsaw, dude. It looks aesthetically pleasing, and it's such a shredder, dude. Definitely my favorite LMG in the game. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's right behind BKM, literally just like right there. Funny how all the nearly all the LMGs in the game are S tier for insurgents. You ever think about that? They are so good. It's actually ridiculous, and it's a shame that there isn't a lot of like go-to gunners out there. I know that you're out there. Trust me. I know you guys are some smart bastards, whoever are out there rocking gunner, but there's definitely not enough love for the gunner class. Speaking about gunners, we might as well do the securities, because the M240 Bravo is probably B tier. It's so expensive. It's like the same thing as a PKM, but you have to spend all your supply points. So I'll probably put it at B tier. Actually, C tier or B tier? C tier or B tier? I don't know. It's really expensive, like stupidly expensive to rock this thing. But it has good, iron sights, and it does look pretty cool. Realistically, you're not like running around with the M240 Bravo. I mean, neither of the 50 cals, I guess, but it's just we'll come back to it. We'll just come back to it. Makarov, D tier. The only reason why it's not an F tier is because it's free. I mean, if you want a pistol sidearm as like a sniper, it's a nice cheap option. This thing takes, I think, 3 bullets to put somebody down, and some of these pistols only take 2. So take that in consideration. And I think it's up to 4 bullets it takes to put somebody down if they have armor on. So consider that. But, you know, it's free. Can't really hate on that. I'll take it. M9, A tier. This thing smacks. Best iron sights, personally, I think, in the game. Those glow dot sights are beautiful. Unless you have a suppressor, then I think it kind of like, you know, gets in the way. But yeah, this thing is a beauty. I love her to death. 50 cals. B tier. I think they're both B tier. You know, anything you see with this thing, gone. You can shoot somebody's toe through a wall. They'll probably still die, depending on the wall. Yeah, this is like the perfect sniper rifle, except it doesn't have a suppressor, so you're not really stealthy, but no bullet drop, practically, you know, it's instantaneous. The velocity is amazing. You're going to hit your shots the most accurately at a range with the 50 cals. And when it's bipoded, the recoil's pretty controllable. So, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with the 50 cal. I kind of want to put it at A tier almost. Like, a part of me kind of wants to put it on A tier. But it's the whole stealth aspect that is probably going to stay as a B tier. And it takes forever to also put over your shoulder and pull out a pistol. So it's not the best run and gun sniper in the game. M60. A tier. One-shot capabilities is amazing. You definitely have to put some, you know, supply points down for it to be good. But it's the fact that it could actually have a 100-round mag and or drum or box mag. I don't know what the hell you call it. And have a recoil grip is basically what I'm trying to say. As an LMG, especially for security, is amazing. And you feel like Rambo. You can roleplay as Rambo. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I definitely love the M60 a lot. Recoil grip makes it a whole lot of fun. M4. Golly. So many good streaks I've gone on with the M4. I broke a kill record with the M4. Yeah, I think we can all agree. It might be a little pricey, but no recoil, amazing stopping power. The attachments look sick. I mean, two times hollow. You can even put the iron sights down for 1 point. That's kind of bogus, but still looks sick anyways. The thing is just a god. M1911 security version, I don't think it really matters between security version and the insurgent version because they do the same thing. 45 ACP is not good in this game, at least when you're single tapping. It's not that bad when it comes to Grace Gun, believe it or not. But yeah, it's just not good. 10 bullets is not enough either because even though you have 45 ACP, it takes 2 shots to kill somebody with this thing. And then when you have a Glock or an M9 that has double the mag size, and almost better firing rate and better, you know, recoil controllability, it also 2 shots, you know, so they're both 2 shots and you just get way more for what you get with the M9 or your Glocks compared to your M1911s. You're literally only using this for aesthetics reasons. That's it. It's definitely a challenging pistol to use. So we have the SAW or M249, probably C tier. And some of you are going to get mad at that. I'm okay with that. I could argue B tier if you really wanted to, because it has grown on me quite a bit, but its recoil is not the greatest. It's definitely kind of hard to control the recoil with. 200 magazine box mag is, I mean, there's definitely nothing like it in the game, so that's cool. That's what it's got going for it. Stopping power is terrible, and it doesn't put people down fast. You definitely have to hit your shots with the M249, but that 200 rounds really goes far. I wish there was a recoil, grip option, because in real life you can rock a recoil grip with the M249, and I was kind of hoping that they did that with the M60 and they just transfer over that to M249, because I think this thing would be so much better with a recoil grip. I don't know, maybe then it would just be way too OP. Beats me. M1 Grand, C tier. I'd say that's C tier. You get 8 bullets of 308. It one shots. It's amazing. Pretty good iron sights. You definitely don't want to rock it because you're kind of trolling if you're using the M1 Grand, truth be told. Even though it holds its own, you just get way better performance on the SVD. I don't really see a point of rocking the M1 Grand, but rocking iron sights and doing GI Joe style is just God, so much fun. And also, if you spam somebody, you don't get a lot of ammo with this. So it's like 5 times 8. You only get 40 shots. And if you go CQB and shoot somebody with an entire mag or clip. No, this is a clip. You shoot somebody with an entire clip, you're practically only getting like 5 kills for how much ammo you're given. So yeah, it's not efficient for streaks unless you're just purely one-shot snipering style people. Then you have the M16 S tier, 100% S tier. This is a security version, by the way. 3 bursts in this game is so good if you can hit your shots, and it's so cheap to work with this gun. The iron sights for the security are really good, and you can rock the hollows or the 2 times on it. Man, so good. So good. Especially as a demolition. It's my go-to gun. Totally go-to. Now the other M16 for Insurgent. So I believe this M16 is 2 points, and this one's only 1 point. They practically do the same thing in terms of performance. It's the same 3 bursts, same stopping power, but this one you can't rock the cool sights like you can with this. And I think that makes a big difference, but also this being 1 point cheaper, I mean, at any time you can also throw the 4 times 1 times ACOG sight with the red dot on it. Oh, man. It's the sight is what doesn't make me want to go S tier, but like you can just go big or go home with your supplies. So I don't know. That's a hard one. We're going S tier. We're doing it. It's still so good. It's the best assault rifle in terms of supply points, bang for your buck. Oh, C tier. L95 is definitely C tier. This gun looks sick. I used to love it watching like DayZ videos back in the day. Frankie on 1080p would always be rocking like a thermal with an L85. Did I say L95? Is it L85 or L95? I think it's L85 actually. But yeah, looks cool. I like that going for it, but the performance sucks. It has quite a bit of kick on the recoil. It's not worth it. And for being a security advisor, there's way better options than using the L85. You're purposely using this for the aesthetic reasons, not performance at all. So yeah, we're gonna throw that on C tier. KSG, S tier. 14, what is it? 16, 17 in your tube before having to reload again? Oh my God. Any day. I'll take that. This thing is amazing. Kind of want to put it on A tier, actually. But no, I'll keep it as S tier. This thing, it's the tube factor, and it's not that expensive to rock because you don't really need attachments for it at all. You just can run it raw or just throw a hollow and you're good. If you really want, you can throw a suppressor. Yeah, pretty good shotgun, I ain't gonna lie. KS-23 is anywhere between an A tier or a B tier. And I think I'm going to throw it on A tier. This shotgun, like, you only get 4 rounds, so you're constant reloading, and that is the huge downside to it. But you can snipe a motherfucker across the map with a KS-23. Like, this thing is God when it comes to, shotgun power in this game. So yeah, it's the range. It's the range of capabilities of the KS-23 is probably why I'll put it on A tier. You just got to throw a loading grip on and you should be okay. And it's still relatively cheap, so you can rock like I like to rock like a deagle or something on the side, or a good pistol, something like that. Honey Badge, A tier. S tier or A tier. I couldn't put it anywhere near B tier. It's definitely up there. The suppressive capabilities, of course, you could be like 15 feet away as an enemy and you won't hear this thing. It's just the same thing with the AS-FAL, but the Honey Badger has really, really good iron sights, and I like the performance way better than the AS-FAL. Now, the AS-FAL, I like it. It's cool. It's B tier. The difference, I think, is... Well, I don't know. You have to get an extended mag version for the AS-FAL, and it sucks because the attachments, you can't rock the scope on PvP. Come on, VSO scope on the AS-FAL. I know you don't allow 4 times on the Breachers, NWI. Just let us have fun. Okay? Make exceptions for when it comes to fun. Nobody's going to sit on the back of the map sniping with an AS-FAL when it takes 4 shots to kill somebody at range with this thing if they're wearing armor. Like, that's not going to happen. So just give us the option, Please, I'm begging. But yeah, this thing still holds up fine. But like I said, at range, it takes 4 shots to put somebody down. Even though you have that rate of fire, you got to hit your shots. Grease gun. D tier, C tier, C tier. I know there's a lot of people growing on the grease gun. It's 45 ACP, but it's like a 32 rounder. Very controllable recoil. Advanced suppressor makes you very concealed, or you can do the regular suppressor too, and it looks pretty sick. I could argue D tier because it's not my favorite in CQB ranges because you really got to hit your shots, or else that rate of fire, you're just going to get out 1v1'd if you missed your first initial 2 shots. Somebody can turn on you very easily if you're rocking the grease gun, is basically what I'm saying. But yeah, C tier, and it's cheap. Can't go wrong. Galil. C tiers probably for both of them. I was hating on my last LMG videos that I wasn't giving any love to the Galils. Technically, they don't belong in the gunner class if we're being quite frank. They're definitely assault rifles. It's just you can throw drum magazines on. So that's why I wasn't giving them love. I don't mean it as like a stepchild type of way. Even though I'm kind of treating them like such, so I'm being kind of a hypocrite when I say that. It's just like, yeah, they're just assault rifles with a lot more recoil because you throw the drum magazine on. And as bare bones assault rifles, they're not even that good in the game. Yeah, you'd much rather just use any of the other LMGs. I rarely see anyone using the Galils. Hell, I could talk myself into actually throwing it on D tier just because there's so many better options on both Insurgents and Security. But nonetheless, performance-wise, I guess it's C tier. G3, A tier. This thing used to be S tier back in the day. Same thing with the FAL. We're going to do the FAL at the same time. Both A tiers. They both used to be S tiers. Maybe not the G3. Maybe the G3 could be B tier. That's tricky. That's actually so tricky. Hold on. We're throwing this. I was so confident, but now I'm questioning myself. AS-FAL is definitely A tier. It used to be S tier back in the day, is what I was trying to say, is because the extended mag option gave it 30 rounds for each one. Oh, those were the days. They got nerfed to the ground after they removed extended mag for PvP. Yeah, damn shame. I wish they would have done the same thing. I wish they left that playstyle in the game, but they did what they did with the MP7 and just made the extended mag like 4 points. I think that would have been okay. Also, fun fact, the FAL, what's the FAL on? Rifleman? This used to be an advisor gun back in the day. I think maybe the G3. I'm not too for certain. But yeah, in the very first 2 years, or maybe just the first year of Insurgency Sandstorm, it used to be an advisor gun. You used to be able to rock suppressor, and that was so much fun. And the iron sights were so cool. So you'd have 30 rounds with a suppressor, running around with a recoil grip. And man, the streaks I'd go on with that, because the full auto one-shot capabilities with this thing, man, so much fun. Oh, I miss that playstyle so much. G36C, B tier. It's solid. I like the transparent mag. It looks cool. I like the unique attachments for the G36. Burst isn't all that great because I think it's only a 2-bullet burst. So we kind of just ignore that. But, you know, it holds its own. Could probably argue C tier. I'm probably keeping it on B tier because it looks cooler than most guns. And I'm okay with leaving it on B tier because of that. FAMAS. I think we're going with another B tier. This would be S tier if you were playing Firefight or any one life game mode, maybe like Ambush, because on a 1v1, you're shredding anybody with this thing. If you have, you know, a decent sight for it, because iron sights are pretty atrocious, you know, it's over with. This is definitely probably the best 1v1 performing rifle in the game, I'd say. But the reason why it's B tier is because, one, super expensive, and two, the you know, rate of fire is so out of control that it's hard to go on streaks with. You know, you definitely need heavy carrier, and if you have a light carrier, you're probably only getting like 5 kills until you run out of ammo if you're not conserving. But the burst option is also very good. That's like the best method to me with the FAMAS for going on longer streaks with, is when you're using the burst on that thing, because it's pretty satisfying using the burst. Also, fun fact, it has a 25 round mag. They did that because I saw like some, you know, fucking YouTube short that they did that because that's like the max ammo load you can rock in a mag before making it curved, and a straight mag is easier to, you know, pack on your kit. So I thought that was a cool detail. Also, 25, if you're rocking the 3 burst on a FAMAS, which I think it's 2 bursts in the game, but in like real life, I think it's like 3 bursts. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe it's based off the old version. But basically, if you 3 burst with it, you can get 8 bursts, and then the last shot, you know, you have to reload because it's a semi-shot. So that was a cool little detail. MDR, we're going S tier. This thing, I can't believe they added it to the Rifleman. This thing is so good. It's literally the Tavor, but for accessible for everybody. And it also, not only does it one-shot and is exactly like the Tavor, but it has less recoil than the Tavor. So it's ridiculously good. I don't even think I can say ridiculously properly. Now I'm questioning if I can say that right. Yeah, thing is stupid good. It's on Rifleman and of course demo, you know, server, commander, and then this thing's only for advisor, and then like I said, yeah, less recoil. Not much said. Deagle, A tier. Definitely A tier. It's pretty pricey to rock, but man, running around with the Deagle streaks, obviously you got to hit your shots, but the one-shot capabilities on this thing is amazing. Now, I wish there was actual like a 2-time scope or something you can throw on this thing too. It would be a lot of fun, because that's what I love about the revolver, is that you can rock the sniper scope on it. But with this thing, you're just stuck to iron sights or just a 1x red dot sight. The iron sights aren't bad on this thing either. It's definitely fun to run around as a pocket primary. Yeah, a lot of fun. This pistol, what's it called? The Browning. Part of me wants to go C tier. Another part of me wants to go D tier. I'll probably put C tier. Just because the extended mag, it's not a bad pistol. It really isn't all that bad. I just rarely use it. Aesthetics, I mean, it looks classy. Kind of looks like M1911. I mean, you're not using it for the aesthetics, though. At least I say that. I don't know. Some of you might like the aesthetic of it. I'd rather just do an M1911 if I'm going with aesthetics, being quite frank. Yeah, probably C tier, because I think it's only like 1 point to rock. I think so. If it's not 1 point and if it's actually 2 points, I'd put it on D tier. But I only have the primaries shown on my other screen here with supply points, and I don't have the secondaries. Too lazy to bring it up. So unprofessional of me, I know. AUG, B tier. Maybe A tier. Oh, B tier. B tier. I'm definitely going B tier. This thing is solid. It's cheap. It's reliable. I don't like its firing rate though. It's not a terrible firing rate. Like you can get away with it in CQB, but man, you definitely can get outgunned really quickly by other fast firing weapons in this game. But yeah, great recoil control. I love the unique sights. The 4x like A3 sight, I think it's called. You know, the unique scope that has like a rail on top, but you can't put a sight on it. I wish they would just throw the red dot on top of it. Like, come on, you're gonna throw in, what's that called? The railing sight on top of that scope and just not throw a red dot on top of it. So yeah, got some homework for you, NWI. Definitely throw that in the game. I think we'd be really happy. It's little things like that, you know. You don't always have to bring in guns. You can also do some cool attachments too. You know, we love that as a community. Alpha AK, A tier. This thing freaking smacks. Kind of want to put it on S tier. Recently I just fell in love with this gun. It's just so cool to throw a suppressor on it as a AK, like an advanced AK type of you know, insurgent loadout, like a, I don't know, like special ops AK. That's the vibes I get with Alpha AK. Yeah, definitely doesn't go wrong. Speaking about AKs, the AN94 NDPI. I know I'm throwing a bunch of suggestions for you guys. I don't even know if you guys are going to watch this video, but I would love an AN94 in this game. I think we'd all be ecstatic if that was added. Also, the AEK. AEK would be a good one too. Yeah. There's options. AK-74U, C tier. Kind of booty now. I think I used to think more highly on this gun. You know, good recoil control. Not my go-to anymore. I don't know what it is. I'm just not a fan of it. It's like counterpart is definitely the Mark 18, but the Mark 18 has way less recoil and looks a lot cooler than the AK-74U. So yeah, I think we're gonna stick with that. AKM S tier. It's not even an argument. That thing is like my favorite gun in the game. The iron sights, best AK iron sights you see in any game. That's what I love about it. Aesthetically looks cool. And one of my favorite things is I rock bare bones AKM most of the time. Maybe throw a compensator on because I have so many supply points. But like as a demo, you can rock a grenade launcher and RPG and C4 and be just fine as your AKM standard. It's that good. It's literally that good. Great recoil control, one-shot capabilities at times to the chest. It's sister gun, brother gun. I don't know. Are guns girls or guys? I don't even know. Pull out fucking AK dust cover top to see what parts it has. That was a lame joke. I'm sorry. That wasn't really delivered that well. This is pretty good. It's just it doesn't have a lot of stopping power. It has a pretty good kick on the recoil. I do like it though. It's like fast firing rate definitely makes up for its smaller caliber. And it's probably A tier. I like it. It's not bad. What's this one called again? This one's the AKM. This one's the AK-74. I think I got that right. Pretty sure. I'm kind of having a brain fart. Ace 52. Part of me wants to put it on B tier. Other one wants to put it on A tier. Ace 52 is probably B tier. And a part of me definitely wants to put it on A tier. It's like the Scar H version for the Insurgents. And it looks cool. But the thing is, this has so much more recoil compared to the Scar. Like, this is probably, out of all the guns in the game, one of the most hardest to control weapons for me. And that's like saying something. It's hard to control. If you can get your shots right and you're fragging out this thing, it's probably A tier. But me personally, I'm not a fan of it and I don't really go to it. So I'd probably put it on as a B tier just because I have that Alpha AK. I just no need to go to the Ace 52. I hardly ever use it. Okay, we got to go back to these bad boys. Oh god, that time is up. I can't believe we can talk for this long about weapons in the game. We got G3. We're gonna spitfire this. We got A tier. Probably A tier. M240 Bravo. B tier. Yeah, G3, it's good. Don't like the firing rate. Stopping power is amazing though, and it's not that bad for a rifleman. M240 Bravo, we're putting on B tier. It's super expensive to rock this thing. It's the same thing like a PKM though. So I do like the one-shot capabilities whenever you're going ham with it. Then you got this pistol. Definitely, I'm strong. I don't even know. I wouldn't say strong. I'm confident that this is an A tier pistol now. It gets the job done. P90, A tier. That 50 round mag. Yeah. Factory circle sights, the worst in the game. One of the worst sights ever in the game. But I like that it's an option and it'd be NWI, just throwing it out there. It's fun to use, and it's a very challenging loadout that drives me nuts. Yeah, you know, gets the job done. 50 rounds. I guess you can't complain. SKS, man. B tier, C tier. We're going C tier. D tier? D tier. We're going D tier. Yeah. Looking at the other guns, you're only using this for its aesthetics, or long range. It's very good at long range, but when you get to the medium to close range, not that good. It's not. It doesn't have a one-shot capability like the first Insurgency. I'm looking at this list real quick. I think I'm locking this in. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Let's go check the old tier list now and compare. Okay, so it took me a second to bring this up, but we got the old tier list video on the left and new tier list video on the right. Right off the bat, I didn't have an F tier on my old tier list. That looks like a mistake. I want to say a mistake. I guess this gives me more breathing room, and I like how there's an F tier. One more tier definitely helps kind of sort everything. So it just might be a little weird when doing the comparison. So I guess just off the bat, looking at S tier, we have the MP5 for the Insurgents, which is an interesting one because that's definitely not on mine currently. And I think back in the day, whenever I did this tier list video, I want to say that I had the mindset that this was the best, like, weapon for the breacher for Insurgents. I didn't necessarily think of the MP5 as an S tier. It just happened to be the best SMG for, for the Insurgent class. And I don't think I'm wrong by that. I still think that stands, but I just don't think nowadays that should consider the gun S tier. Does that make sense? So I think my views have changed about that. We definitely don't have the Insurgent M16 on here. The Insurgent M16, where is that bad boy? It has to be down here. Can it be that low? Is it? Right there. There it is. Yeah, it's A tier. So that's different. I view it now as an S tier. I mean, I was arguing S tier or A tier, but I don't know if the 4x1 red dot was in the game at the time that this, was made. But I stand by it. I stand by Insurgent M16. It's just as good as the security M16. You just gotta get used to the sights, and like I said, extra point cheaper. MG3, I have that as A tier. I definitely think it's an S tier. My God, is it so good? It's insane. I don't even think there's arguing to that. Look at this right here. I think I called it earlier too. MP7. I thought this thing used to be so much better back in the day, and then I got nerfed, and I don't remember fully, and I could be tripping, but I want to say too that I used to think this gun was higher tier maybe when I put this list out because of its early reputation when the game first came out, because it used to be so good and then they nerfed it. So I don't know if I added maybe like the pre-nerf into my opinion or decision or not. Definitely an interesting one. QTS A tier, B tier on here. It's an interesting one. Like I said, the performance is good on the QTS. I don't like the aesthetic of it, and that is being put in consideration for this video, 100%. What else we got? We got the Mosin A tier. What the heck? I mean, I used to be a huge Mosin boy back then, more than I am now, but it's definitely not A tier. It's kind of funny because I know the new sniper rifles are in the game, so that definitely changes my mind on some certain opinions. I wonder if the M1 Grand's in this. Oh yeah, it is. So that means the SAS is in this loadout too, I believe. Yeah, it's right there. Huh. Yeah, SAS A tier. Do I have the EBR? Yep, EBR S tier. I'm glad I got that right. FAMAS A tier. Interesting, because FAMAS is B tier now. That downgraded one just because for push game modes like I do all the time or front lines, it's not that great, but I think I remember staying true to this and just saying that one life game mode FAMAS would just wreck. I got the shotguns, Taz and Remington as A tier. I got them B tier now. Interesting. This was, I believe, before the KS and the KSG. Yeah, there's no way. KSG and KS only came out a year ago. So, yeah, that's definitely not on the list. That's definitely changed my mind since the new shotguns have been introduced. There's definitely a new look for that. FAL, A tier. Got that right. Where's the G3 at? G3's B tier. What'd I put the G3 at? Where'd I put the G3 at? Oh. Where's that bad boy? A tier? Oof. I don't know. Maybe I should put the G3 back on B tier. That kind of makes me want to change my mind kind of bit. I don't know. I think it's too late now. I think I already finalized it. So maybe I'd put the G3 on B tier. Maybe. There's arguments to be made. What else I got here? A is FAL. I got the honey badge still on A tier. A is FAL, definitely downgraded by one. That's an interesting one. I got the Tavor A tier. I'm glad I got that one right. What else? I think that's really all that really stands out to me for right now on this list so far. M24 B tier. It's been a long road, hasn't it, M24? My God. This was definitely before the, of course, the sniper rifle update. And like I said, the TAC 338 really killed off the M24. I'm just surprised it's B tier, not C tier. Oh, golly. That's crazy. 50 cals, B tier. Oh, no. I got 50 cals B tier, too. M249, B tier? Where do I have the M249 at? C tier? What? It's downgraded? Really? I thought honestly, I thought it's grown more on me. So I thought I'd have it higher than before. Oof. Maybe M249 is B tier. My God, I don't know. That made me question my tier list looking at that. Man, Makarov, B tier. What? I know it's free, but it's not that good. D tier. Nah. It ain't no B tier. QBZ, the good one, B tier. Also B tier. Okay. The AUG, MP5. Yeah, that's solid. I wasn't tripping too bad when it comes to B tier. C tier, M240 Bravo. That's gotten +1. I still kind of felt the same way about it. It's funny how these two are flopped. They literally got reversed. M249 and M240 Bravo with this newest one. But I don't know. M249 could be B tier. I don't know. It's definitely making me question myself again. Uzi, C tier. It's lucky it's C tier. It's lucky. With the new addition to F tier, it's definitely D tier. I'm happy with that one. Grease Gun, C tier. Grease Gun, C tier. Got both Galils. Makes sense. What the... I got the Alpha AK as a C tier. What was I thinking? Was I drunk? Oh my God, because I got Alpha AK as A tier now. That thing has grown on me. Fuck. That's crazy. That's probably like the biggest change, I think. Man, from second last to second first. My God. Type or not type, L85. C tier. Yeah, not much has changed. Same thing with the pistols. Though these are D tier now. I definitely think they're all D tier. Did I put the Browning up here? Oof. Maybe I should put the Browning on D tier. I think I talked myself into C tier. I'm okay with that. That's not bad. I'll leave Browning C tier. If I had to change anything. And then dead last, Sterling, SKS. SKS makes sense. I got that it's D tier. I want to put it as F tier though. Wellrod, people are raging. Tariq? Really? Where's the Tariq now for me? Don't tell me I put the Tariq super high. Oh no, Tariq's D tier. Okay, I was like, did I really put it at B tier for a second? That freaked me out. Couldn't find it. Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. I wouldn't say it's F tier, but it's definitely D tier. The assault rifle, still feel the same way about this shitty ass type. I think the whole community does. Sterling, of course, we hate it. M1 Grand, I don't give M1 Grand enough props as I used to. The one-shot capability and the aesthetic iron sights, it's solid. You definitely don't want to use it, like I said, but if you do, still a good choice. That's not bad. That's not bad, actually. There's a couple in there that really threw me off. The Alpha AK, but for the most part, I'm happy. I'm happy with the way I've done it, and I don't think I've changed a whole lot. There's definitely some opinions changed over the years, but I'm okay with that. Yeah, hopefully you guys liked this video. I had fun freaking making it. Subscribe for more. MGE Gibs, I'm out. Deuces.